an improvement after you become a green belt or a black belt? So it is monthly salary, right? Monthly salary we're talking about. Okay, so I see that. Yeah, so I can tell you that approximately, given the kind of data you have given us, easily you can think of 30 to 50% increase in your salary after a typical green belt or black belt certification. So 30% for green belt and 50% for black belt. Now, this is typical for this particular group. There are certain cases this increment might differ, but the data which you have given to me, based on that, I can tell you that I can promise that kind of, okay, now that kind of results, not from the yellow belt training, but I'll be telling you what is Lean and Six Sigma, what do you mean by yellow belt, green belt, black belt, etc. Today we'll be introducing you to the very, very basic concepts. Now, I see that lots of people are from operations here, quality also, quite a few. And if you participate in full, that will give me a good idea of how I will be structuring my program, because I can, tailor make the program for your requirements. Okay, and if you can launch my team, if you can launch the third poll also. Okay, thanks a lot. So uh, I think all the polls are over. My team can just confirm that. Okay, that's great. Okay, great. So thanks for joining once again. Thanks for joining for this training program. And now I've made my agenda. Uh, so I'll be introducing you to the company first, and I'll also give my introduction. It will take 5 to 7 minutes, and then so that you get the confidence, that you are in the safe hands. You are learning from the right person. Then Lean and Six Sigma benefits, and then we'll introduce you to the basics of Lean and Six Sigma. Then after that, we'll talk about DMAC: define, measure, analyze, improvement, control. Now, DMAC is a technique. DMAC is a technique which is used by all the organizations who implement Lean and Six Sigma on the existing processes. So define, measure, analyze, improvement, control. So if you ask me, what is Lean and Six Sigma? I would say that it is project's approach towards process improvement. So whatever you want to improve, convert into a project. What is the definition of a project? Project definition, the basic definition is that it has a starting point and it is an end point. So it's a one-time endeavor. So you take up improvement projects, and just imagine lots of improvement projects being taken up in an organization simultaneously by many green belts. Definitely it is going to transform the organization. Then we'll talk about some applications in the industries. We will also do a project. So we'll do a DMAC project. As I do the project, I will keep on explaining some tools and techniques, some fundamentals of statistics also. It totally depends on how much deep you want to go into the statistical part, because of course, the lots of things are there in Lean and Six Sigma, which as a green belt or a black belt, you learn. But in yellow belt, typically we don't go too much deeper. But if you are okay and you are responding and you're understanding, so just keep telling me that if you are getting confused, because such a short time, I can't explain all the tools and techniques, obviously. And I also would like to keep it basic, simple in the beginning. And depending on your responses, I would like to, increase the level of complexity. And if you permit me, then I will even talk a little bit of topics, and even I'll start explaining something related to green belts and black belts also. Some of the tools related to green belts and black belts, I can't teach them, but I can demonstrate them. So towards the end, maybe last 15 minutes or so, I will introduce you to some of the things which black belts or at least green belts too. Black belts, I think it will be not possible, but at least whatever green belts do. So let me introduce you to the organization, and organization as let me also formally welcome you. So these are the videos I created during COVID times. So they are there to help me.
Hi, welcome to Anexas. Anexas has been consulting and training the professionals in the organizations around the world since 2006, and we have trained more than 150,000 people and consulted for more than 500 organizations, which includes Fortune 100 organizations too. I'm Amitabh Saxena, and I have designed this program based on my 30 years of experience while working in various industries across many domains. The whole Anexas team once again joins me in welcoming you.
So once again, everyone, welcome. A team of more than 30 people is behind this program. And if you are interested in our future programs, one of our team members will definitely get in touch with you. And if you are interested, he or she will explain to you all the details of our programs. We have been around for the last 18 years. 150,000 people have been trained around the world. And I'm a chemical engineer, MBA finance, used to work a lot, but used to earn very less money. But then one fine day, the organization told me that they are going to choose the top 10 performers in the organization and make them black belt, send them for some black belt training, and they would be doing some black belt projects. I thought that I'm one of those top 10 performers, but the organization did not think so. And this, I'm talking about 25 years ago. So I was not chosen, but what good thing I saw was that those people who got trained as a Six Sigma black belt, they were able to make a huge positive difference to the organization. So I thought that I will go in the next batch whenever the next training happens, but the next batch never happened. Then what I did, I found out some organization, which was, of course, very far away from that country wherever I stayed. I was staying that time in Thailand. I was working in a petrochemical unit there. And I traveled, invested some good money, and then I also became a black belt. So when I became a black belt, I was able to make positive difference to the organization. And then, as I said before you, of course, to cut the long story short, I have been around in Lean Six Sigma only for the last 25 years, in total 33 years of experience. I'm a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt Data Scientist, PMP, CPHQ, and consulted for more than 200 organizations, including 15 Fortune 100 companies. So these are all big names, which includes Aramco, SABIC, AXA, Apple, Google, Dell, ADNOC, King Fahd Medical City, International Medical Center, Apollo hospitals, and so on and so forth. Lots of banks also included in it, including Deutsche Bank, Riyadh Bank, Bank Muscat, lot of hospitals, lot of logistics companies, Transportation Corporation of India, NACL, etc., etc. Now, why I'm telling you all these things? Because I believe that you also can achieve this or much more. In fact, the opportunities are too many. And today you will be learning not only from me, but you will be learning also from what I have learned from my own students. So just to give you some photographs from different countries, just to give you a glimpse, I've been conducting training programs over the last few years, like last 20 years. I also take pride in telling that I conducted the first ever black belt training in whole of Middle East in 2007 or 8. Europe, Australia, India, Middle East, US. Yeah, won some awards also, and appeared on TV shows also.
Hi, I'm Shekhar Suman, and I wish to congratulate all the Six Sigma certified black belt from Anexas. All the best.
And we had a lot of fun. This whole interview is there on the ZTV YouTube channel. I will be speaking
on 21st of May 2019. I'm going to speak.
So I've spoken in a lot of conferences and lots of videos and lots of proof is there. Keep writing in different newspapers, articles. Deputy Health Minister of Saudi Arabia and his whole ministry has attended my training program for the last 10 years. And Dr. Mohammed Abdul Ali, who's the spokesperson of the Saudi Health, and so on and so forth. So lots and lots of people. Now, towards the end, if we have time, and if you are willing to stay for half an hour more, then I will also tell you the roadmap of how to implement Lean and Six Sigma in the organization. But as a yellow belt, we'll finish our course in the initial stages. Well, first, the target is to finish the yellow belt. As a yellow belt, you will be learning about Lean and Six Sigma benefits. So what does Lean and Six Sigma do for you? Lean and Six Sigma can achieve a lot of benefits for the organization. And if the organization is happy, then of course, it makes you happy. Can you tell me what are the similarities here? A manufacturing company improves production by 30%. A hospital reduces discharge time of patients from 3 hours to 15 minutes. 64% reduction in recruitment time in a multinational company. Hotel improves customer experience and increases bookings to almost 2 times. A bank reduces errors and cycle times by 80% with enhanced CSAT, and insurance claims time reduced by 70%. What do you think is common here? What do you think is common? So Matthew is telling increased efficiency, okay, and Daniel is telling reduction of waste. Yes, you're right. Okay. Yes, so waste reduction is there. And lean, lean and Six Sigma is much more about more than waste. Yes, yeah, as you said, improving the processes, reducing the time, increasing the productivity. And Shah Rukh Khan, oh wow, today Shah Rukh Khan is also there with us. I'm Amitabh, by the way. Increasing productivity and reducing time. Tefer Felix is telling reducing non-value added time. Yeah, so it appears like looking at your responses, most of you are a little bit, and thank you, Sharani, for joining us, improvement of time and productivity. So, see, many of you, it appears, are familiar with waste or lean part, but then there is much more to Six Sigma, which is about reducing the variation. So I'll try to explain to you some of the basic concepts, and towards the end, I'll be little, in a fast mode, so I won't be in the explanatory stage. I will just in a fast mode. I will tell you about what are the possibilities, of data analytics as a green belt or a black belt. So I also got an idea that based on your responses, because every program is tailor made as per the responses of the students. So keep responding, and thanks for response. I can't name everyone, but yeah, Karthik, thank you. Rahul, thank you for responding. So they are all Lean and Six Sigma and data analytical tools. Okay. So lots and lots of projects like these: reduction of cycle times, error reduction, improvement in productivity, reduction in errors, improvement in customer satisfaction has been achieved. So let me use one of my
Hi, I'm Amitabh.
one of my videos to just talk about
Closely, all of them are Lean and Six Sigma improvement projects done in various organizations. So, what does Lean and Six Sigma bring it for you? Lean and Six Sigma reduces the costs, reduces the defects, wastes, rework, cycle times in a company. It also improves the quality, production efficiency, productivity, customer satisfaction, capacity, profitability, and resilience. And which CEO would not love a person who can help the company achieve all these things? So, well, Lean and Six Sigma green belts and black belts are those individuals who can do improvement projects in the organization by choosing improvement opportunities and converting these improvement opportunities into projects. It all started in Motorola when Bob Galvin, the CEO, took a challenge saying that I would like to improve everything by 5 times in the organization. And he was told about some statistical tools and techniques which Bill Smith and Michael Harry were using to improve the processes. Bob Galvin was so much impressed with what Bill Smith and Michael Harry were doing, he told them to develop a methodology which, if applied to the organizational processes, can improve the processes. So he was particularly impressed with what Bill Smith and Michael Harry were doing. They were choosing improvement projects. Now, what is the definition? As I told you, definition of a project is it has a starting point, it has an end point, it doesn't exist after some time. So Bill Smith and Michael Harry would translate the improvement opportunities in the organization to projects, and applying tools and techniques of statistics, they would find the root causes of the problem, and then after solving the root causes of the problem would impact the organizational bottom line. Both of them developed Six Sigma DMAC methodology. They started training the green belts and black belts. Green belts and black belts were the people who could fight all the quality related problems in the organizations. Six Sigma brought in a lot of benefits for Motorola, and it also won Malcolm Baldrige Award in 1988. Jack Welch of GE was so much impressed with this methodology that he told his employees that you would not be promoted if you are not a green belt. So everyone wanted to be a green belt, everyone started doing projects. Then GE started telling their vendors and suppliers that if you want to have business from GE, you need to implement Six Sigma. So vendors also started asking what is Six Sigma, and GE would say that we will send our master black belts and train you in this methodology. So in this manner, Lean Six Sigma spread out around the world, and today almost 80% of the Fortune 100 companies and many, many more companies around the world have implemented Six Sigma and Lean. Lean started in Toyota. I will tell you the story of Lean a little later on. Now let us look at the overview of DMAIC. Let us first understand the attitude and discipline of Six Sigma. In Six Sigma, we view the quality externally from customer's perspective. So if the customer says that we are producing a defect, or if customer is not happy with the quality, that means we say that we are committing an error or we are committing a mistake. So we have to measure the way customer measures our performance. Second is, Lean and Six Sigma is highly systematic, scientific, fact-based and data-driven process. Means whatever you say, whatever statement you are making, you have to validate that using data. So you have to collect the data, and then only you can assign a reason for a particular problem.
So let us see what do we mean by data-oriented methodology. So this is one of the differentiators, whenever we talk about Lean and Six Sigma, we always say that we are making data-oriented decisions. Deming used to say that in God we trust, rest others bring data. That means I'm not going to trust you if you are not giving me the data. Can you tell me any one thing which you would like to improve in your organization? And quickly you can just write in the chat box, I'll choose one of them. Any one thing which you would like to improve in your organization. And let us participate, So, can you be more specific, like measure? I want measure. So Telfer is telling a waiting time, okay, waiting time. Now I'm not sure waiting time. Yeah, so waiting time, people are telling energy consumption, cycle times, cost reduction. So see, cost, okay, energy consumption, very good, energy consumption, yeah, cycle times, waiting times, okay, cycle times, reduce scrap, cycle times, scrap reduction. Yes. Everything is possible, dear friend. Everything is possible. Productivity. Pratik is telling, Dr. Sarvesh Mishra telling cycle time. Chiyoko Fernandez is to improve, reduce costs. So let us choose any one. I've just chosen waiting time. I'm not sure which waiting time we are talking about. Yeah, cost. Yeah, some people, cost has already written. Yes. Okay. Now, can you tell me, let us choose waiting time. Can you tell me, whatever we want to improve, we designate it as Y. Whatever we want to improve, we designate it as Y. Okay. And there are some X factors which are influencing our Y, isn't it? Can you tell me, let me know any one or two things which are, and let's make some assumption. Let's make some assumption about the organization. Some organization, there's a waiting time. Which organization you want? Yes, please. Keep answering. Otherwise, I'll make my assumptions. Yeah. So some people are telling patient waiting time. Okay, healthcare. Okay, fine. Yeah, so teller is from healthcare. So let's say you're talking about patient waiting time, right? Now, patient waiting time, can you tell me what would be the reasons for patient waiting time? And let's keep it simple because not everyone from hospital. So registration time, okay. Then waiting, doctors availability. Maybe they are in the emergency. Yes. Okay. What else? The registration time, doctors availability. Okay. Anything else? Consulting time taken to consult. Yeah. The time taken to consult, if the consulting time is longer, then obviously people have to wait more. So let's keep it simple. Now let's, what I'm trying to prove, what do we mean by data-oriented decision? Root causes validation of data-oriented decision. Is waiting time impacted by registration time? Is waiting time impacted by the consulting time, means average consulting time of the doctors? Or is waiting time impacted by the doctor's availability in a hospital? Okay. Number of walk-ins. Some people are telling number of walk-ins. Okay, so let's choose any two. Let's choose any two. Let me choose, and I'm just picking up any two. So here, and deliberately I'm choosing consulting time taken to consult, and let us say doctor's availability. These two I'm choosing. Let us examine these two factors. And purpose here is to prove what is data-oriented decision. Now, you may be working in the hospital for 20 years, And you may say that consulting time is affecting my waiting time, and our doctors take too long to consult the patients. That is why our waiting time is high. Then in that case, you are telling lots of things. Registration time is high, number of walk-ins is responsible, doctors' availability is also an issue. There are so many X factors, and we call them as X factors. We call them as X factors. And we say Y is function of X. Okay. Now let us see which X factor is the root cause. Let us look at first consulting time. Consultation time and the waiting time of the patients. Okay. So I collected data of 10-15 days, and I found, and then we have got different doctors also, right? Consulting time on one particular day for, in general, I found on an average was 10 minutes. And waiting time on that particular day was 15 minutes. Waiting time, consulting time on one particular day was 13 minutes, and this was 18 minutes. Consulting time was 15 minutes, and this was 20 minutes. Consulting time was 20 minutes, and this was 25 minutes. Consulting time was 25 minutes on an average, certain doctors or certain set of doctors or particular department, wherever I collected the data, there was 25 minutes on that day. And this was 30 minutes. Now, if I draw a chart, and let me introduce you, as we go along, we'll keep learning a lot of tools and techniques. So in Yellow Belt, I'm going to teach you casually. It's not a structured approach, obviously, but you learn a lot of things. Yeah. In Green Belt and Black Belt, we have a very highly structured approach, chapter by chapter, tool by tool, we have a very highly structured approach. This is like a conversation, Yellow Belt is like, I'm trying to expose you certain tools and techniques of Lean and Six Sigma. As a Yellow Belt, you can't do a project, but you will be exposed to the tools and techniques. You will be learning some basic concepts of Lean and Six Sigma. But when you are a green belt, actually, you have to do a project. When you are a black belt, you have to do a project. Okay. So this type of data, which can be expressed in number and also can take a decimal point, is known as continuous data. Like consulting time can be 10.1 minutes. Yeah. And it has a unit also, right? 10.1 minutes. Yeah. 13.2 minutes. Possibility of a decimal is there. Waiting time also. It has a unit and it has a decimal point. Possibility of a decimal points. Then we call this as a continuous data. Okay. So both of the data are continuous data. When my both Y and X factors are continuous in nature, here it is waiting time, and here it is consulting time. I can see very clearly there appears to be a relationship. We call it as a positive relationship. Positive means X is increasing and Y is also increasing. One is increasing, other is also increasing. Now, given this graph, do you think that the consulting time is impacting or affecting my waiting time? What do you think? So if my consultation time increases, the waiting time is also increasing. It has an impact, yes. So as Teller is telling, yes, it has an impact. Yeah. It has an impact because as I increase the consultation time, as whenever I find that doctors are taking more time in consultation, so waiting time of the patients is increasing. Because X is increasing, Y is also increasing. Okay. Now let me change the data a little. In a hospital, the consulting time is 10 minutes or 13 minutes. But still, most of the time, the waiting time remains always between 18 to 30 minutes. In this case, the data is something like this. What do you think? Is consultation time one of the root causes or something else is the root cause? Waiting is happening due to something else, other factor. It could be doctor's availability. It could be doctor's number of walk-ins. It could be due to registration time. Maybe most of the problem is in the registration. Somewhere else. So just tell me, is it because of, now here we are examining only the consultation time. So tell me, is consultation time the root cause of my waiting time or something else is the root cause? Something else is the root cause. Yeah, something else. That's it. We don't know what is the root cause. But definitely consultation time is not the root cause. How did I arrive at this conclusion? Just based on the simple data analysis. This is known as data-oriented decision. And all our X factors are validated in Lean and Six Sigma using these techniques. I just introduced you. This was known as scatter plot. Scatter plot means whenever I have continuous X and Y, I use a scatter plot. There's a provision some of you might be knowing, but I will just make a mention. You can even use a regression equation in the form of y is equal to a plus bx very easily. It can be obtained. There are nowadays softwares. We teach you a software also. When you join our green belt and a black belt, we give you a software totally free of cost. And we also give you a project and we do the project together in the classroom. So in a green belt or a black belt, you do the projects together with us. But right now, as a yellow belt, I'll be just doing the project with you. We'll choose after half an hour, I will be choosing a project. And all of us will do the project. But before we start doing the project, I want you to learn some basic concepts. So very, very fundamental basic concepts. Then we'll start our structured approach of solving the problem using define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. DMAC. Okay. So this was scatter plot. This was, I can do a regression equation. I'm not putting right now much emphasis on it, but very easily I can say my waiting time is equal to, and it's very easy to obtain a formula, something like waiting time is equal to 10 minutes, which is 10 minutes is like spent in other activities plus consulting time. This is known as regression equation. And based on that, I can even start predicting the waiting. Okay. So this is all known as data-oriented approach. Now, don't worry about this part. In fact, conveniently, you can forget about this. You know, I just made a mention for those who already are aware of this. Those who are not, don't worry. But I hope up to here you are with me. Okay. Now let us examine one more, doctor's availability. Doctor's availability, is it impacting my, so obviously people will say doctor's availability impacts it. See, that way every X factor impacts my waiting time. Which is the root cause? I want to know that. Which is the root cause? Doctor's availability and waiting time. Now, I collected some 25 instances of data. I'm not going to write all the 25 observations here. I'll just briefly make a mention of 6 with a simple logical approach just to drive home one point. Doctors was available. All the doctors were available. Yeah. And let's say if I examine case by case in one particular OPD department or pediatrics department, doctor is available, waiting time on an average is 15 minutes. Another day, doctors were available, no issues were there, 16 minutes. Another day, doctors were available, no issues were there, 15 minutes. One fine day, I observed that doctors were not available or partially. I can have 3 categories. Available, not available. Not available means not available all the time, partially, means they went to emergency, or emergency came up in between. So whenever they were not available, and not available, I mean they went for an emergency and they came back. 25 minutes. Not available, 28 minutes. Not available, 26 minutes. Now, let me also tell you, this data type, doctor's availability, it is not continuous data. Okay, it is not continuous data. Earlier I told you, there are two types of data. There are two types of data: continuous and attribute. Continuous and attribute. See, you cannot improve if you cannot measure. Rule number one, you cannot improve if you cannot measure. And rule number two is, you can measure everything. Now you'll wonder, how can I measure everything? By knowing that there are two types of data. So you can measure everything either using continuous data or you can use attribute data. So continuous data is, as I told you earlier, waiting time, 15.2 minutes. Age, 55.3 years, which is my age. Yeah. Or weight, 26.2 kg. And it's not my weight, maybe weight of a teenager or weight of a child. So waiting time, age, weight, these are all examples of continuous data. Attribute data has got categories. Attribute data means you have an attribute which I want to measure. And whatever you want to measure, you can put it as an attribute and a category. Yeah. And you can have a count there. You have a count of a category and you can measure proportions. Okay. And you can measure also sometimes percentage. Okay. So tell me, doctor's availability, available, not available, it is continuous data or attribute data? What do you think? Doctor's availability is, there are two categories, available and not available. Yes. So all of you are right, available and not available. Yes. Right? Are available or not available. And out of that, 100 times I checked, a doctor is available 60 times and 40 times he's not available. And the proportion is 0.6 times. Proportion is nothing but out of 1, how much belongs? Like this, if this circle is 1, so 0.6 belongs to availability and 0.4 belongs to not available, non-available. And 60% and 40%. If you are habitual of percentage, in statistics, we never talk in terms of percentage. We always talk in terms of proportions. Okay. Okay. Similarly, see, whatever I want to measure, I can always put it in an attribute. Like some people say, I can't measure happiness. You can put happiness here. Create two categories, happy, not happy. Or I can have very happy, happy, neutral, not happy, extremely unhappy. And same example, if I take, extrapolate here, same thing. Percentage means, if I treat this circle as 100, this circle is 100, then 60 belongs to here, happy, and 40 belongs to happy. I'm trying to simplify the things which appear to be very complex. Yeah. So I have understood now, and I hope you have understood that there are two types of data. Here, availability is. Now, looking at this data, can you tell me? Looking at this data, can you tell me? Is doctors' availability one of the root causes of waiting time? Doctors' availability is it one of the root causes. Whenever the doctor is available, our waiting time is less, isn't it? And how will I draw this diagram? I cannot make a scatter plot here now. Y is continuous data and X factor here. What is my X factor here? Availability. What is the Y? Waiting time. Waiting time is continuous data on a continuous scale, and availability, doctors availability. Can anyone guess how will I plot the data? Yes, I have got two categories, available and not available. When the doctor is available, waiting time is like this. When the doctor is not available, waiting time is less. When not available, waiting time is like this. There is a tool called box plot. Usually here we use a box plot, which divides the data into 4 quadrants. Yeah, 4 quartiles rather, 4 quartiles. I'll not go into the details right now, but I hope you understood based on the simple example that looking at this chart, and here I'm drawing a box plot, right? Why I'm drawing a box plot? See, scatter plot actually becomes a box plot when I'm dealing with categorical data. Why am I drawing a box plot? Because doctor's availability is attribute data. So when I'm dealing with attribute and continuous data combination, I will use box plot. And I can prove that, yes, let us ensure that doctors are available or do something about the non-availability of the doctors. So if we foresee that, there is emergency going to be there, and you can easily collect the data of the emergencies in the past, and on an average, you'll get an average standard emergency, and then you'll get a standard deviation also, which I'll explain to you in a short while. You can easily predict and make your plan accordingly. So here, availability is a problem. Now, let me check this a little bit. Let me change this. Oh, let us keep it this way. Available. And now change the data. I'm changing the data. Doctor was available, still we took 30 minutes. Still we are taking 25 minutes. Sometimes we are taking 15 minutes. Doctor was not available, yeah, but still the waiting time was 15 minutes. Maybe some alternative arrangements was done. Maybe the number of patients were less. Yeah. So number of walk-ins were less. So in this case, now maybe what happened, we don't care, we don't know about it. But in this case, if I give you this data, do you think that doctors' availability is the root cause here in my this hospital, or something else is the root cause? Is doctors' availability or something else? Yes, Daniel is right. Something else. Something else is the root cause. Yes. Felix, you're also right. Yes. Tell for Felix, thanks for the interaction. It makes our training lively. Yes, absolutely. Now, And keep responding. Yes, Arlene, you're right. Yeah. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Thank you for response. This is known as data orientation. Okay, so first I just wanted to explain Lean and Six Sigma, the clear differentiator. And I just talked about scatter plot, box plot. In fact, there are these. Black belt will not trust only the graphs. Instead of box plot, he will do ANOVA. Yeah. Instead of scatter plot, he will do regression. So I will not be, talking at all about these tools and techniques, because right now we are yellow belts, and as yellow belt, it should be simple, very, very basic understanding. By the way, even these regression and ANOVA, it's very simple. If you come to my class, I make it simple. Okay. Now, let us understand what is Lean and what is Six Sigma. Before I go there, let me make the model of any organization in the world. All the organizations can be represented in this model. Think of your own organization. There is a set of processes or process steps. So this is a process which is producing an output in your organization. Set of process steps which are producing an output. Think of your output. You may be a production company, manufacturing company. Then you can say that you are producing a product. If you are a bank, you are producing a service. Their output is a service. You're a hospital, your output is a service. Yeah. This output is consumed and received by the customer. Okay. And the customer gives a feedback on your product. Yeah. So scheduling, planning, or your strategy team, depends on what type of organization you have, what can't see. This is not only for organization, this can be done for any department also. Okay. Whatever I'm making right now, I'll tell the name also. Some of you can guess the name. If you are exposed to this kind of diagram before, then tell me the name. Strategies. Planning team informs the suppliers. Please provide me with raw materials, which becomes inputs to your processes, which are processed through a series of steps, which produces an output, which goes to the customer. Customer gives a feedback, and also you predict a demand. Based on that, your strategy team strategizes, planning team plans, asks the suppliers to provide the raw materials and inputs, and also the strategy team informs these departments A, B, C, D about change of policies, change of settings, change of parameters. Either you are a hospital or a bank or a logistics company or an airline industry or an automotive industry or a petrochemical industry and an oil company, whichever company you belong to, education industry, university, school, college, whatever. Think of your organization in this term, in these terms, as fitting into this model. We call it as systems thinking. You are thinking about the system given by Deming, also known as, another very popular name is value stream map. How you are producing value for the customer. See, customer is not interested in a product or a service. Customer is interested in the value which he or she derives from the product or the service. Suppose you are manufacturing a car and giving the car to the customer. Your output is a product. Customer is not interested in your car. Customer is not interested in your product. Customer is interested in the value he or she is deriving from the car. This value could be ability to get transported from one place to another place comfortably, speedily. That is what the value customer is asking for. He's not interested in the car. Or sometimes if you're talking about Ferrari, by the way, Ferrari World is my client. So Ferrari, if you're talking about Ferrari, then in that case, prestige could be the value. Or speed could be the value. I want to show the world I own a Ferrari. Or I want to show the world how fast I can drive. So see, value is the critical thing. How the value is created? Through a series of steps. Value is created by processing the inputs through a series of steps, output, customers, then they give the feedback, then you plan, then give it inform the suppliers to give the inputs, and so on and so forth. This is not known as how the value flows, how the value flows in your organization, okay, in your system. This is known as systems thinking. Don't have silo-based thinking. Okay. Remember this part. There's a tool which we'll talk about S for suppliers. S for suppliers. Remember this. I for inputs, P for process, O for output, C for customers. So we will learn when I'm taking you through the project, and in the next 5-10 minutes, we are going to start a project. We are doing a project. We'll be doing a project. I'll show you how a project is done. SIPOC. We will make a high-level process map. SIPOC, supplier, input, process, output, and customers. To have a process view. Because the problems are not in the people. Problems are in the processes. Problems are in the systems. So if your customer is unhappy, the problem is not in the people, problem is in the process. Processes cut across the departments. Processes are designed by the leadership. That is why leaders are responsible for the problems. If your product is not as per the specifications, it is not because of the people, it is because of the system. This is because of the process. Change the process, the same people will deliver excellent results. Deming used to say that 85% of your problems in the organizations are due to the processes and the systems and not due to the people. 15% is, of course, contributed by the people, but 85% is contributed by the processes. So change the process, and it's easier to change the process rather than changing the people. Changing the people, like replacing them, is also difficult, and also changing the people from within, it's very difficult. I met my friend after 35 years after we left school. I met him for the first time, had a dinner with him. He told me, you are the same person. I also told him, you are the same person. After 35 years also, we told each other that you are the same person. That means what? The person can't change. So don't try to change the people and think, I will improve my product or service. Sorry, it's not going to change. Change the process and you will be surprised. You will suddenly find that the product changes. Now, how will you measure products? So what you do, first you collect the voice of customers. The customer will tell you, I want speed, I want appropriate weight, whatever they will tell you. I want good service, good behavior of your staff. Customer may like to say whatever they want to say. They may demand anything. Yeah. They may demand anything. You have to put a measure, and everything can be measured. I told you already. Everything can be measured. How? Either continuous data or attribute data. Now, don't tell me ever that I can't measure emotions. Emotions, again, it's category. Happy, sad, angry, hating, full of hate. These are all anger. Measure the angry. If you want to increase the happiness in the organization, collect the measure of happiness. How many people are happy? How many are not happy? 60% are happy today. I want to increase to 80%. And then I'll follow DMAC. So I'll tell you DMAC. See, all the medicine for all the problems is DMAC, which now I'm going to start in the next 5 minutes. But before that, let me tell you the last point here. When I collect the voice of customer, I have to put a measure. Measure. So I can say time, I can say cycle time, isn't it? Here I can say grams or weight. If I'm producing chocolates, it will be grams. If I'm producing car, it will be weight. Behavior, I'm in a restaurant or in a hospital, it could be attribute data, good behavior, bad behavior. And then here I will talk about proportion. 60% good behavior, 0.6 proportion of good behavior in my hospital is 0.6. I would like to increase to 0.8. See, problem solved. No excuses that I can't measure this, I cannot improve. You can improve everything because you can measure everything. Typically, we call these measures as CTQ, critical to quality characteristics. CTQ, critical to quality characteristics. CTQ. In Six Sigma, we have jargons, you create jargon so that people get confused. Otherwise, how we will say to tell the world that we are Six Sigma guys, black belts, CPHQ, VSM, value stream map. These are all great acronyms to use in your meetings. I'll tell you lots of strange words. Pareto analysis, scatter diagram, I already told you, box plot. Yeah. At least one thing will happen today. You will learn some jargons which you can throw at others in meetings and impress them. Either impress them or confuse them. In either case, they will think that you are a wise person. Okay, jokes apart, they are all useful things, right? Or you may find another person who knows this language. If you are lucky in your organization, some person might be knowing this language. He'll be very happy to have you. Okay, so typically, CTQ, there are 3 CTQs for sure. Every product, every service in the whole world will have these 3 CTQs. One is time, can be measured as cycle time, waiting time, this time, that time. The time names could be anything. The time taken to deliver that particular service or product. Then second is errors, number of errors, mistakes. If it's a product, defects. Every organization or every product and any service will have these things. And one is the cost. These 3 are always there. Apart from that, weight. If you are weight means you are manufacturing weight, petrochemical, then intrinsic viscosity, boiling point. If you are in hospital, infection rate. Typically depends on the product or service we are talking about. There could be multiple measures, hundreds of measures. But the 3 measures will always be there. Okay. Now I have given you lots of fundamental things, concepts. And fundamental things I will keep on telling you as we proceed. But up to here you are fine. Things were very easy, simple, my dear friend, till now. I will complicate. I will complicate the things. Okay. Okay, fine. So let us start. So first, no, don't worry, don't worry. See, uh, mm, okay, let me take you back to our presentation. So, see, first of all, when you implement Lean and Six Sigma in the organization, you have different types of belts. Yellow belts are the people who can help the green belts and black belts if they are present in the organization. Means they know what is basics of Lean Six Sigma. They know what is DMAC, which of course you will know in a short while in the next 1 hour. They know what is data oriented decision, how to collect the sample, simple assistance they can provide. But green belts and the black belts are the ones who can do the projects. The green belts and black belts have practiced these tools and techniques in the classroom, and then usually they will do a project. When you join our green belt and black belt session, we do the project in the classroom. And we also make you do the project. It's very simple. Templates are there, softwares are there. Life is very easy. Life is automated nowadays. When I attended my program 25 years ago, it was 3 weeks black belt program. Now it is 6 days. So green belt is 3 days, black belt is 3 days. Or if it is 2 hours every day in the evenings or 2 hours in the mornings, then it becomes 25 days. Around 12 days of green belt and 12 to 13 days of black. So life is simple. And a lot of data analytics techniques. But it's not only data analytics, because I also conduct data analytics program and machine learning and Power BI and all that stuff. But please understand that in the Lean and Six Sigma, you are not only you're transforming an organization, you're transforming a process using data analytics. So data analytics is one part of it. Okay. So green belts and black belts. Green belts do projects generally in one process with one CTQ in mind. Black belt can work with multiple CTQs, multiple measures, multiple across the departments, across the locations, bigger projects. Typically, green belt saves around 100,000 euros or $100,000. Typical, it can save $500,000 also. And black belt saves around $500,000, 1 million, sometimes 20 millions. One oil and gas project which I did saved billions of dollars. If time permits, I will show it to you. Otherwise, don't worry. These are all available on my YouTube channel. I have got a YouTube channel also. Just go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. This program is being recorded and it will be also put on YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel, if you go, Anexas is the company name, of course. It's not mine, it's companies. So companies, if you go to companies' YouTube channel, you'll find these videos and plus many more videos. I will not be able to explain all the tools and techniques which we use in Greenbelt, but if you are interested in watching, definitely you can watch these tools and techniques descriptions. I will just make mentions of some of the tools. Some tools I will describe in detail, some tools I'll just make a mention, but always you can have a look at these and learn these tools and techniques by going to those links. So just subscribe the channel. Anexas is the channel name, and you will get lots of material. But who is a master black belt? Master black belt is the person who trains green belts and black belts, or who consults, who manages, who launches Lean and Six Sigma in the organization, who can get it's like a program manager who manages multiple green belts and black belt projects, who guides them, who teaches them, trains them, mentors them. He's a master belt. We are one of the few companies in the world which also conducts master black belt trainings. Very few companies in the world conduct master black belt. So you can be a yellow, green, black, and master black belt from us. Certification is valid worldwide. AEC Denmark, the certification is coming from, and it is valid worldwide. And there is no recertification. That nonsense we don't believe in. After every 3 years, you have to recertify. For what? In this world, all the knowledge is available anytime. And by the way, when you join our sessions, like right now you have joined Yellow Belt, you will get this video throughout your life. It can be in your learning management system. And when you join green belt, black belt, all the videos are provided to you. All the projects are, lots of industry projects are given to you from various industries, and they are with you forever. You can watch this video. You can join our live sessions anytime, free of cost, after you become a green belt and black belt from us. Of course, green belt and black belt takes a little bit of, there's a fees for that, because obviously we have a people to support. There are a lot of people putting in their effort in this whole program. So definitely there is a fee, and which is justifiable. It's not too high. But green and black belt and master black belt at one go, if you want, you can have it within 1.5 to 2 months. As a master black belt, we support our master black belts to become self-employed and become consultants also, and we give references, etc., etc. Okay, so in short, now if someone asks me what is lean and what is Six Sigma, so let me tell you, let me give you the definition. Lean is about mapping the process as it is. Lean is about mapping the process as it is and identifying the waste in the system. Like waste is like waiting time, transportation, over processing, inventory, rework, rejections, underutilized resources, overproduction. These are all wastes. Waiting time, obviously, errors, defects, anything starting with re is a waste. Anything which the customer is not willing to pay for is a waste. So we have a waste. Waste means not the waste which we throw in the dustbin, but waste is in the processes. This waste is present in our processes. It is around us. So you have to develop an eye to identify the waste in your organization. Inventory, hidden inventory. If you release that inventory, the money is available. Raw material inventory, work in process inventory, and finished good inventory. They are all wastes. So there are different types of wastes. Now looking at the time, as I see a lot of people, my team, if you can tell me how many people are from healthcare, because I saw a lot of people from healthcare today. I don't know the reason why, but maybe some large hospitals have joined today in the session. So I can take some examples from healthcare also, and remaining examples from manufacturing also. Okay. Fine, no problems. So while showing a lean examples, I will take from healthcare, and Six Sigma examples we'll take from production or manufacturing, and then we will do a project. Okay. So lean is about reducing the waste in the system, and Six Sigma is about reducing the variation in the system. Okay. Reducing the variation. As we go along, I will teach you what is variation. What do you mean by variation in the system? Okay. Sumedh is telling, please take example from milk industry. See, one interesting thing about this lean and Six Sigma is this is applicable to every industry. See, this model which I drew is applicable to milk. Output is milk, right? The weight of the milk, liter of the milk, your viscosity, I don't know, you know, must be knowing boiling point, impurities, you must be measuring. There are certain measures which you are aware of. So this is true with all industries, okay? And whatever we are learning today, we'll learn some more tools like histogram. I'll teach you normal distribution. I'll teach you cause and effect diagram, Pareto analysis, scatter diagram, box plots. They are all applicable to your milk industry also. Okay. By the way, very big company, Al-Marai, one of the largest milk producers in Gulf region, they are our clients. Mother's Dairy, also I have consulted in very early stages, not obviously not now. So there are certain companies where we have done consulting. Okay. Now let us start. Okay. Six Sigma I will talk about. I will, in fact, Six Sigma is about reducing the variation. So let us say if I'm producing chocolates. Okay, let me talk about the statistical concepts also in the beginning itself. So I'll start my DMAC. Maybe I'll postpone it by 10 more minutes, but because it will take around half an hour, to describe the whole project. But if you're aware of the concepts, it's very easy for me to describe. So lean is about reducing the waste. And reducing the waste is about, when you go around, you have to do a Gemba investigation. Gemba means go to the field. So Gemba means go to the field, go to the place of action where the action is taking place. Don't sit in your air-conditioned room and imagine how the things are taking place. No. Go to the place of action and find out the wastes. We also call waste as muda. Muda in Japanese. We call it muda in Japanese. Okay. Now, I was talking about Six Sigma. So Six Sigma is about reducing the variation. So if I think of a chocolate, let's say, or milk, it can be milk packet also. So chocolate weight should be 100 plus minus 3 grams. So we say lower specification limit is 97 grams and upper specification limit is 103 grams. Okay. I hope you have understood. This part you have understood. Yeah. Maybe the slide is too busy, so let me make it here. Let me take you through data types again. Whenever I am dealing with data, continuous data type, and if I want to tell the whole world about my performance, I will use a tool which is known as histogram. Like age of people, if I collect the age of people who are attending this training program, average age is, let us say, 35. Most of the people, some people are up to, say, 40, 45, 50 also. Very few people are above 50 and very few people are below 20. Okay. Very few people. But 99% of you are between 20 to 50. Doesn't mean that no one is above 50. By the way, I'm above 50, but very few people, right? This is known as histogram, historical graph. I collected the data, the historical data, last 10 days is a historical data. It's not an ongoing data. And made a graph out of it. It's known as histogram. And Mr. Gauss, Carl Friedrich Gauss, he found an interesting phenomena that most of the things, most of the repetitive processes in the world, they follows this distribution. We call it as normal distribution. Normal means it is normal to obtain a normal distribution. It looks like an inverted bell-shaped curve. This is like average salary of, I collected the salary range in the beginning. It was normally distributed. Weight of all of us, if I take the weight of everyone together, it will be normally distributed. Heights of the people, normally distributed. Similarly, cycle times, waiting times is normally distributed. All the things which are continuous in nature which are repetitive in nature are normally distributed. So we'll make a histogram if I'm dealing with continuous data. And if I'm dealing with attribute data, I cannot make a histogram. I'll make a bar chart. Say happy, not happy. Or I can make a pie chart. Happy, not happy. So the choice of tool depends on the type of data. Choice of tool depends on the type of data. Okay. I will further explain the normal distribution after a while. Okay. But up to here, you are okay. Up to here, you are okay. And you can always watch this program any number of times later on. Okay. Because I'm going to give you lots of concepts in 2 hours. And if you choose to stay for half an hour more, I will give you much more knowledge and information about how to implement Lean and Six Sigma, how to transform the organizations in Lean and Six Sigma. Okay. And I'll show you some case studies also. Now, one more thing before I start my DMAC project. Let us take the example of our chocolate or milk. It could be, if I go with the chocolates, 100 plus minus 3 grams is what the customer wants, or we are promising the customers. Lower specification limit is 97 grams and upper specification limit is 103 grams. I hope you are with me up to here. Specification limit is set by the customers. Okay. Now, if I collect the chocolates, the weight of the chocolates, I may find, let's say this is a green company. This is how the chocolates are produced in the green company. Okay. Most of them are 100 grams, but they are going up to 106 grams also. They are going up to 94 grams also. Do you think this company will satisfy their customers? Do you think this company will satisfy the green company? Do you think it is satisfying the customers? Do you think they are giving less than 97 to some customers? Some chocolates are less than 97 grams. Some chocolates are more than 106 grams. Do you think customers are happy? Your senior management is also a customer, by the way. When you give more chocolates, do you think that customers, your senior management will be happy? The shareholders will be happy? No. This we call it as defect. We call it as defect. Okay. So let's say here we are making 10% defect. Here we are making 10% chocolates defects. And these are all our 100% chocolates which we have produced. So 220% defects means 20 chocolates in 100 is defective. If I make it 1 million, let's make it 1 million. Means 200,000 defects per million opportunities, defects per million chocolates are 200,000. In 1 million chocolates, 200,000 defects are there. This is not a good process. Okay. No. Too many defects are there. We measure defects in 1 million. Okay. Similarly, I can say waiting time in the hospital also. Let us say 20% of your customers are unhappy with the waiting time. So defects per million is 200,000. See, this concept can be applicable everywhere. Milk products. You are producing milk packets. 20% of your milk packets are either more or less than the required weight. 20% defects, 200,000 defects in 1 million packets. Not good process. Now, if I reduce the variation, what I will do? I will reduce the variation. This was the green process. Now let us talk about blue process. Most of them are now 100. Now tell me, what is the probability of making, this is the probability curve. Mr. Gauss, he said that everything follows normal distribution. The curve never touches the x-axis. It goes on and on and on and on and on. Now in the blue process, very few defects are there. Very few. Only 3 defects in 1 million opportunities. 3 defects. Such a process is known as 6 sigma process. 6 sigma process. Such a process which produces very few defects, very less variation. It is consistent, it is predictable, consistently performing super process. Never will produce any chocolates which are beyond the weights. What a great process. I can trust this process. Now, we are talking about chocolates is okay, a little bit here and there. But what about if you are producing screw for an automobile or an aircraft engine? This variation will be very, very, like it would be a fatal error. Their variation cannot be, variation is difficult, not permitted. Even in service, go to this hospital, always service is super, good, consistent, no variation. You are happy. Go to a restaurant, always service is good, no variation, you are happy. But sometimes in the restaurant, your service is good, sometimes it's not good. Sometimes food is good, sometimes not good. There's variation. No one likes variation. Consistency is something which everyone likes. Reducing the variation is 6 sigma. Reducing the variation and reducing the defects, that is 6 sigma. Sometimes you may ask what sigma is coming from. Let me explain this a little bit. All of this, of course, cannot be explained in such a short time, but I'll try my best. Mr. Gauss, Mr. Carl Friedrich Gauss, 17th and 18th century, he studied so many repetitive processes. He found that every process, it follows normal distribution. And so if you collect the data, okay, let's say if I collect my traveling time, I travel to my home every day. 30, 35 minutes, 25 minutes, 20 minutes, 36 minutes, 35 minutes, 30, 30, 30. So average weight traveling time is 30 minutes. We represent it as X bar. In statistics, we represent the sample average as X bar. So it is 30. And the standard deviation is, let us say 5. Now, if you are interested in how to calculate standard deviation or how to get the formula, nowadays no one worries about the formula because Excel sheet just put the data and ask standard deviation is equal to STDEV. If you do, it will give you. So don't worry, as a yellow belt, don't have to worry about how to calculate. Yeah, just understand the basic concepts. It is very easily calculated nowadays. I will show you in a short while. But if you are still interested, some people are inquisitive. So store this link. Standard deviation, which is given, Naveen has just put a link here. Naveen is our IT, multi-talented person, IT guy, social media person. So he has put this our detail of standard deviation. 30. 30 is the average and standard deviation is 5. So what Mr. Gauss found was, and this was a surprise, every time, if you collect 30 samples, just 30 samples, not more than that, not less than that. 30 is a good sample size. And if you calculate average and standard deviation, you can predict about the whole population. Means you can predict about all my travels. Let us do that. This is 30, which is X bar. Plus 1 time standard deviation will be 30 plus 5, which is 35. Plus 2 times standard deviation will be 40. Plus 3 times standard deviation will be 45. Here it will be 25 minus 1 time standard deviation, 20 and 15. So I can predict that 99%, 99.73%, almost 100% of my travels are between 15 minutes to 45 minutes. Lower control limit and upper control limit. Lower control limit and upper control limit. LCL and UCL. It is between 15 minutes to 45 minutes. We call it control limits. Please remember, it is different from specification limit. I told you here what was this? Specification limit set by the customer. We call it as voice of customer. Voice of customer. And what is this? LCL and UCL, voice of process. Process is telling, like in our previous case, the green process was telling, I will be between 94 to 106. And the blue process is telling, I'll be between 101.5 to 98.5. The blue process is very good. Voice of process of blue process is very less, right? The voice of process should be within the voice of customers. Voice of process, the control limits. Control limits should be within the specification limit. Then you are not producing any error. But look at the green process. The control limits were more than the specification limits. They are producing errors. Have you understood? I'll pause a little bit. I will just give you 15 seconds to reflect on whatever you have understood. Are you with me or confused? Are you with me? Voice of customer means specification limits set by the customers. Control limits are determined by the process. Control limits are determined by the process. How will you determine control limits? Control limits are from the data. Control limits are coming from the data which you collect. You get your average, you get your standard deviation and get your control limits. And then see whether my control limits are above, below, within the specification. You guys are great. You are understanding statistics so easily, which is very nice. Although these are basic things, but some people, sometimes they don't understand. Oh, no. As soon as I see my distribution, probability distribution, average, standard deviation, don't be afraid. Today, standard deviations can be calculated very easily. I'll be showing you a project now. Okay. And by the way, if I just change this, like if I express one more last point, if I just put this is a lower control limit, here 15 minutes, upper control limit is 45 minutes, right? So if I take travel time, always my travel time will vary between 15 to 45 minutes. We call it as, this is a variation, we call it as common cause variation. Okay. Or anything which is going above this, we say special cause variation. Special cause variation means, I'll tell you why we call common cause and special cause also. Okay. So if I take, let's say, my boss asked me, yesterday you took 35 minutes and today you took 30 minutes. What is the reason? I'll say it is due to common causes. Common cause means there are lots of factors. This is my travel time. There are lots of factors which are impacting on my system. It could be the route, it could be the traffic, it could be the weather, it could be my mood, it could be the vehicle I used, weather, so many things. These are all X factors. This is the Y. So a lot of factors are acting on my system and producing this variation, which is known as common cause variation. So I cannot explain this 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 7 minutes. I can't explain. But if I come 2 hours, I take 2 hours today, then I can explain. I can give a special cause. So when the process is under common causes only, we say process is under control. And when the process is out of, like it is going beyond the control limits, we say process is out of control. Means it has got a special cause. So one of the things, a statistical mindset, a manager who has statistical mindset, he will not worry too much about the common causes. He will definitely worry. I'll tell you how to worry. It's a different type of worry he will have. He will worry, first of all, he has to take action on a special cause. So a special cause, you need to take immediate action. Common causes, you have to take long-term action. Means, if I want to explain, say, for example, this is not my travel time, but this is now waiting time, let's say. Yeah. Waiting time of my patients is between 15 to 45 minutes. Average is 30 minutes and standard deviation is 5 minutes. Or in example of your chocolate, 30-gram chocolate, a smaller chocolate. Average standard deviation is 5. So my chocolate weighs 15 grams to 45 grams is too much, right? Too much variation. I would like to reduce that variance. Yeah. Or if it is waiting time, then I would like to reduce the waiting time. So I would like to change the control limits. And I would like to have waiting time between 0 to 15 minutes. Right? Because the voice of customer is, you should not take more than 30 minutes. This is voice of customer. Customer says you should not go beyond for 30 minutes. So I'll make my process, I'll shift the control limits of my process. The shifting of control limits is not easy. It is like system, full system. You are changing the DNA of your process. Your process has been operating consistently between 15 to 45 minutes of waiting time. Now you are thinking of shifting that control limits. It's like a shifting changing the whole system, DNA of your process. It will require DMAC. The shifting will require DMAC. Now, this whole thing is also explained in a video, the same thing, whatever I explained, but in a suit and tie I'm wearing, that I'll put the, put that video link here. So if Naveen, if you can put that video link, that will be great. And this video link is actually, when you join our green belt, black belt, you get all the professionally made videos also, along with my live training, of course. So it's not that it's only videos. So live training as well. The live training is for interaction, when you ask questions. Now yellow belt is actually, because lots of people have joined in, so I can't give everyone chance to speak. But when you join our green belt and black belts are restricted to less than 15 people always. So then in that case, you can ask questions and you will get personal attention also. Okay. So now I just wanted to show you this particular, this link is already given by Naveen, but
Happens in measure.
So this thing, whatever I just covered, exactly the same example is given here.
So if you want to I collect the data of my travel time from my home to office every day. And I find that on an average, I'm taking 30 minutes. And
So all the things are given here in a nice diagram, and same concept is explained in a little bit more
takes
detail
effort.
at a leisure, taking some good time. Because of yellow belt, we have got less time. So I tried to explain this in as short as possible. Now let us start our DMAC project. I've been telling you for a long time now. It's time. I thought of covering the theory part full, and now its life is easier for us. So we'll be learning about SIPOC. So in the define phase, we'll learn and we will apply SIPOC and project charter. In the measure phase, I've already explained types of data, normal distribution, and control charts. We'll make control charts. So lower control limit and upper control limit, we call it as control chart. The one which I showed you, this was control chart, LCL and UCL. Okay. Then analyze phase, we will learn cause and effect, Pareto, box plots and scatter plot, process mapping. Improve phase, we'll talk about brainstorming. And if time permits, I will talk about 5S and Fukai. Otherwise, we'll be just winding up. But if you want to continue for half an hour more, then I will talk more things. We'll show you some case studies, some examples, and also how to apply Lean Six Sigma. So this company wants to reduce the recruitment cycle time. I'm taking a simple example because everyone will understand. People from all industries are there, so recruitment is understood by everyone. So this company wants to reduce the recruitment cycle time. So first we make a team, and we are following define. Define, we write the problem statement, goal statement. Measure phase, we collect the data. Analyze phase, we analyze the root cause, why this problem exists. Improve phase, I improve the process. And control phase, I hold the gains. Whatever I have improved, I would like to sustain the gains for a long, long time. In the define phase, we make a team, typically, and we make SIPOC and collect voice of customer, make a project charter. So we form a team. The person who is the person who is doing the projects, they are known as green belts. Green belts. Master black belt is the person who's guiding. The process owner is the manager of the process in whose process you are doing the project. You have to engage them also. They don't have to attend any sessions or training, but you have to engage. So once you undergo a training, you generally do a project. Okay, so we are now applying all these tools and techniques, whatever we have learned till now, we'll apply now. You see, there is no point in just learning unless you apply. See, company will be happy when you do something to the company, when you give benefits. If you tell, I know histogram, I know normal distribution, company will say, what is there for me? You may be knowing, but it's of no use to me. You have to make it useful, right? Once you use them, then only, once the company gets the benefit, then only they will be happy, right? So here we have a HR director. HR director here is a champion. Champion is the person who's the head of the department, typical HOD. Yeah. Who's the head of the department? He's designated as the sponsor or the champion. So we have champion or sponsor, process owner, master black belt. So this team, it starts the project. We start with always process, SIPOC, because we have to have a process view. So we have a customer here. Our customers are departments. When you are doing a SIPOC, we recommend that you start from right to left. It's easier to make a SIPOC. So we have an output here. What is the output? Recruited employee. What is the process? We have written the process. And we have certain inputs like IT system, job description, CVs, budget, HR staff, travel documents. And these are the suppliers of our inputs. So we are having a now process view. We will not blame the people. We will not blame the HR team. We will not blame the people, the recruitment manager and recruitment team. Oh, you don't work, don't know how to work. You are not knowledgeable. Otherwise, you blame, right? Every time we blame the people. Don't blame the people. Blame the process, my dear friend. I told you earlier. So this opens up your mindset. Measure on the Y. When a measure on the output is known as the Y. Here, what is our Y? Recruitment time. And we know Y is function of X. Means these are measures on the inputs and process are known as X factors. Time taken to interview, time taken to develop the mobilization plan, IT system available, not available, or down or working, job description is available or not available, budget is approved or not, HR staff is skilled or not. Everything can be measured. HR staff skilled, unskilled, attribute data. Time taken to interview the candidate, continuous data. So everything, these are all X factors. The X is impacting the Y. Don't worry about the recruitment time. Don't worry about the results. If you just focus on the results, you will just get stress. Results are not in your hand. X factors are in your control. So fix the X factors. Now you don't have to worry about all X factors. You have to do root cause, which we'll do now. We'll find which is the root cause. And then based on that, you will act on those root causes. Now, I already told you that you can't improve if you cannot measure, and you can measure everything. That is rule number 2. Rule number 3 is if you think something cannot be measured, go back to rule number 2. Okay. And I already told you there are 2 types of data, continuous data and attribute data. Continuous data has got a unit and a decimal point. Discrete data, also known as discrete. See, continuous data are also known as variable data. And attribute data is also known as discrete data because it's in discrete counts. Like male, females, it's an attribute data. 20 males, 30 females. So you cannot have 21.1 male, right? So sample size for continuous data is good. Sample size 30 to 50. And sample size for attribute data is 200 to 1100. Then we make a project charter. Project charter means we make a it takes 50 days. So what's happening today? We say it takes 50 days to recruit an employee, and then we'll make a SMART goal statement: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So 50 days to be reduced to 30 days by July 2011. And then if we are able to do this, we can start billing those engineers, and it will save us $300,000 per annum per year. So savings are always calculated on a yearly basis. Then we start collecting the data. So why is the symptom? But actual reason, actual problem is somewhere in the X, and not all the X factors, maybe 2 or 3 X factors are the responsible X factors. Okay. See, symptom, like when I go to the doctor and I tell I am having fever. So fever is the symptom, isn't it? And doctor, if he is a Six Sigma yellow belt or a green belt or a black belt, he will say, well, the CTQ here is, Y here is the temperature, right? So he'll say, well, you are having 101 degrees Fahrenheit temperature. And in this case, he will say that, well, he will not start giving you, he will not focus on the fever. He'll start collecting the data on X factors. He'll take blood test, X-ray, get some information from us. And based on that, he will make a judgment. Oh, you have this problem. He will get to the root cause. Similarly, otherwise, if he is just focusing, see, if the intention is just to reduce the fever, he can always tell, sit in the refrigerator for 5 minutes and come out. He will not say like that. But similarly, as a process owner, their process has got fever. What is the symptom of a fever for a process? Customer is unhappy, delays, complaints, errors, defects, mistakes. These are all symptoms that something is wrong with the health of the health of the process. And you have to find the root cause as a green belt or a black belt. So Y is function of X. Y is the effect, X is the cause. Y is the symptom, X is the problem. Y you can monitor, X you can X is what you can control. Okay. So let us learn some basic statistics. I have already told you. Average, standard deviation, I have already told you. So when I collect the data, I can make a histogram. Now, see, nowadays, making histograms is very easy. So I'll demonstrate. Now, don't have to learn these things as a yellow belt. But if you become a green belt, I will make you do this exercise actually. In my class, I give you this exercise. I tell you, click here, click there, click on the stat. So I have collected the data. This is my samples of some recruitments done. And then click on basic statistics and graphical summary, and you will get your histogram. So life is simple. Understand the theory, which takes time. But once you know the theory, it will tell you average is 50 days and standard deviation is around 4.7, which is 5 days. Okay? Okay, fine. I can also do a control chart. Like, let us look how my recruitment time today behaves. Okay. It is between plus minus 3 times standard deviation is how much? Lower control limit is 36 and upper control limit is 64. So 50 with the average of 4.7, 3 times, it is giving you. So if you give me, if this recruitment team is given any recruitment to be done, they will take between 36 to 64 minutes. Sorry, not minutes, 34 days to 64 days, 99% of the time. Sometimes they will take 50 days, sometimes 45 days, sometimes 60 days. This is how they behave. But we have to change their behavior. We have to lower those limits. We have to change the process. So what we'll do, we'll move ahead. We also do something called a sigma level calculation, which is based on, I'll as a yellow belt, don't have to worry too much about how to calculate. And it takes around half an hour to 45 minutes to explain that. But I'll just briefly tell you that we calculated the defects. First, we define a defect. What is a defect for us? Any recruitment taking more than 60 days is a defect. So how many defects I'm making? 27 out of 47. So per million opportunities, I'm making 627,000 defects. Then I go to a table. There's a standard tables available. And it tells me that defects per million opportunity of 627 is 1.14 sigma. So I'm at 1.14 sigma level. Okay. Now, why I am there? Why I should have so many defects? Why have so many delays? So analyze is the most important part. You analyze. When you are analyzing, you can take two doors. One is process door and another is data door. Process door means you can map the process as is process map of your recruitment cycle time. Do a Gemba walk. Gemba walk means go to the field, go to the workplace, go to the place of action, and identify the non-value added activities. In the data door, you can do a cause and effect diagram. You can do a control impact matrix. What is in my control? What is not out of control? What is having high impact? What is having low impact? You can do a Pareto chart, and you can do a box plot or a scatter plot. Okay. So let us see one by one. So first we go to the process map or process door. We map the process in detail. And then we identify the non-value added activities, the wastes. There are so many steps which are unnecessarily being done. They can be removed very easily. Delays, approvals, checking, inspection. These are very common wastes. You can also use escape technique. Eliminate. So you ask 5 questions on each step, and you'll be surprised that a lot of steps can be easily changed. E means eliminate. S means simplify. C means combine. A means automate. P means parallel. Escape technique. Eliminate, simplify, combine, automate, and parallel. Escape technique. Escape technique, an example of a real life industry. I have taken in a video, which I'll put. So these links you can store. They are very useful links for you. You can learn those. You want to know further about Escape, a case study also is mentioned in this link. Please feel free. But you have to subscribe to, just subscribe, but click the subscribe button, then full video will be available. If you don't click the subscribe button, then obviously your videos will not be fully available. Just click it. So process map, you review the process map, identify the waste in the system, try to improve it, reduce the waste as much as possible. And then if you go to the data door, you map the process, invite the people, make a cause and effect diagram. Cause and effect diagram is about brainstorming on man, machine, material, method, the 6M technique. Get the people and ask them, whatever you can think of these 6Ms: man, machine, material, method, measurement, environment, whatever you can think of, these 6Ms, just go for it. And they will brainstorm on lots of causes, and then we'll put it on the wall. Or they can also put on Minitab here. Let me show you that as well. See, you can like man, machine, material, man-related causes, machine-related causes. This was given by Dr. Ishikawa. Material-related causes, measurement-related causes, environment-related causes, method-related causes. And then once you have this, it's all nowadays everything is automated. Just tell Minitab, please make a cause and effect diagram. It will make it for you. It will make whatever you are writing, it will create a cause and effect diagram. Okay. But not all causes are impacting. So you will have to now segregate. Here you can use Pareto analysis. Vilfredo Pareto was an Italian economist who found that 80% of the money was with 20% of the people. 80% of the money is with 20% of the people. He called it as 80-20 rule. So 80-20 rule, how will I get it? Either I collect the real data or I can take votes. So here they have taken the votes. They got all the, they were asked to votes, and people, the reasons which are taking most of the votes, they are listed in descending order. And then we can put these votes in descending order. So here you can see that, like here, if you are looking at this, these are the reasons, real reasons collected why the delay happened. So Minitab will count, or you can yourself count. And it will tell you that most of the times it is due to assessment time. Then second most occurring reason is job description is not available. The third reason is approval time. That fourth reason is types of hiring. So these are the top three reasons. Also, if I take care of a type of hiring, also if I take care of, I will solve my problem. You see the percentage contribution of each of the causes is given here, like 34% is contributed by the assessment time. 23% is contributed by the job description not available, and 15% is contributed by the approval time. Now, if I take the cumulative means combined together. So assessment time and job description not see, this is the percentage, cumulative percentage here written. If you are not able to see that, I think you have increased the screen size maybe. So just reduce it so that the whole, I hope you are able to see, right? Others are able to see the percentage part. Here the percentage count is there, percentage is there. Yeah. Percentage contribution down below. You can see, I think Daniel, you can see down below. Are you able to see? Or let me make a shorter version. Maybe you are okay. Are you not able to see this chart? Are you able to see this chart?
Your screen got stuck, sir.
Oh, sorry. Let me. Now is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now can you see? Oh, thank you for telling me that. Now you can see, right? Yeah. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. So here, I have what I have done now. I have assessment time 13 times it is appearing. Job description not available 9 times. Approval time is 6 times it appeared, and percentage contribution is 34%, 23%, 15%. And the cumulative percent means, together, first two are together, say 57, first three are together, 73%, first four are 84. So, Pareto found 80% of the wealth is with 20% of the people. So, Joseph Giran applied this to quality. And he said 80% of your problem, which you are trying to solve, is due to 20% of the causes. So there could be many causes which are impacting my recruitment time, but these three, four causes are the root causes. So I'll just take action on these root causes and then I'll proceed. Okay. We can further validate, this like, so I collect further data. Is really the recruitment time affecting my recruitment time getting affected by the job description availability or not availability? So this is continuous data and it is attribute data. So when I have got continuous and attribute data, I can make a box plot. So I now this I'm just showing you. Don't have to, because I'm just demonstration purpose. I'm showing you how a green belt or a black belt would do. So job description available or not available, you can see available or not available is attribute data. So whenever the job description is available, the time taken is less. When the job description is not available, the time taken is more. So job description availability is one of the root causes in my company. What I will do, I will ensure all job descriptions are available. So next 2 weeks, all the job descriptions were written. Even though you need recruitment or don't need, you have to write your job description. And to clear your own role, right? And it reduced the recruitment cycle time. So root cause analysis leads to this. Recruitment time and let us say approval time. Is it getting impacted? Let us see. Look at the graph. Here, both are continuous data, so I'll do scatter plot. So first, y-axis is our recruitment time and x-axis is approval time. Is approval, delaying our system? Yes, more approval time, more recruitment time. So let me change my approval process, make it easier and make it accountable for all the approvals. So I can change that process because that is my root cause. So this is how, I'm validating my root causes. I'm not showing you the other X factors. You can do it for other X factors also. So basically, all the, using your tools and techniques, you are getting to validate the root causes. So here I will now some of you are asking about. So I hope you understood, and I will go to the improve phase and control phase after a while. But let me explain, because some people are telling they have to leave because they're 2 hours after 2 hours. So I'll tell you, if you want to join my session, please. So let me take 5 minutes to explain how you can join my sessions. After that, I'll continue. So how can you join my sessions? These are our, it's all interactive session. You will get to know, you'll interact with me directly. We'll be in talks. These trainings are on weekends, Fridays or Saturdays for Saudi Arabia. Otherwise, for rest of the world, Saturdays and Sundays. Or if you want, you can do it in evenings, only 2 hours. Or you can do mornings, 2 hours. Next weekend batches, Saturday and Sunday. 25th of February, I'm starting. Now, if you're registering today and tomorrow, I'll be your trainer. So I'm welcoming you to my training. I'm trying to sell my trainings, right? And we have other batches also. March 30th also one batch is there. So if you want to join that, so these are my trainings. Our organization conducts regular trainings, of course. So if you are in a hurry or these dates are not matching, so we can do a separate batch. You can join another batch also. But these are my batches, so I have to talk about my batches. Friday and Saturdays, 20. So if you are joining Friday batches, they are starting. These are the starting dates. If you want to join evening batch, February 19 it is starting. And if you want to join morning batch, 19 it is starting. Timing is also given here, timing. So you can join my times. So feel free to register. And I will also tell you, so depending on where you stay, there will be certain taxes, etc. So depending on that, so if you join green belt and black belt, you can receive our Power BI training free of cost. And you will get a discounted fee. Plus, if you register today and tomorrow, you will get further discounts on top of whatever we have shown here. So not only this is the published fee. If you register today and tomorrow, there is an offer going on. You can get further discounts on whatever published rates we have given. Then the other one, we have got green belts and black belts or GB plus BB, and Power BI also you will get a discounted course, green belt, black belt. You can also do a green belt, black belt and master black belt together with Power BI. So these are all very, very powerful certifications to have. It is certified. Certification is valid worldwide and verifiable by any organization or any person. Immediately after you complete the trainings, we'll ensure that you pass the examination. We guarantee that you will pass the examination, first of all, and we'll prepare you well for the examination. And most of 99% of the people pass in first attempt. 1% they can take second attempt. It's totally free of cost. So 3 attempts are free of cost, but 99% of the people just pass in the first attempt. And you can attend our sessions any number of time in the future, anytime, 2 times, 3 times, 6 times, after 10 years also. So a lot of people are attending our session after 5 years, 10 years. One person attended after 16 years in the last batch. He's in my Master Black Belt batch right now. Anyone who would like to speak, anyone who would like to speak about whatever you have, because, and I'll continue in a short while, I'll continue, but if someone would like to talk about what have you learned in this till now. So these are free webinars coming up. You can share with your friends or you can join. You can also join my LinkedIn. You just send a LinkedIn request. You can always send a LinkedIn request to me and I'll be happy to accept. Or you can just follow me if you know, nowadays connections, there are restrictions. So you can just follow me. So feel free to connect with me. And this is the links for registration. Now let me go back. So 2 projects will be done in the class and project guidance will be provided for lifetime. Anytime you can come back and you can take a project guidance. And like if you are joining this batch, then I'll be associated. Like last 25 years, I've been doing only Lean Six Sigma project management trainings. This is my passion. And I'm also guiding, I'm doing projects also. It's not that I'm just conducting the training programs. Just to summarize the analysis, when we are dealing with continuous data, we did a histogram. When we are dealing with attribute data, we do a Pareto chart or a pie chart or a bar chart. Okay. When I have got continuous and attribute combination, I do a box plot. When I have continuous and continuous combination, I do a scatter plot. An attribute and attribute combination, I do a Pareto chart. So this was very briefly explained to you. Now let us look at the improve phase. In the improve phase, you generate the ideas. You follow certain basic brainstorming rules.
Once we
Let me talk about some brainstorming rules which you should follow when you are generating the ideas for your root causes. Now you have to generate the root ideas for
give equal opportunity to everyone who's participating. So tell them to participate, and you can use different techniques. As I told you, we'll be learning in the improve phase. Capture all the ideas, so document all the ideas. Whatever is being discussed, whatever ideas the participants are given, someone should be there to document, or a scribe you can appoint to document all the ideas. Leave your designation and ego along with your shoes outside the meeting room. That means don't think that if you are senior, your idea carries more weightage. So obviously this ground rule should be very clear to everyone, and everyone should be encouraged to give an idea, and everyone's idea should carry equal weightage. There should be a non-threatening environment. When people are giving ideas, they should not be afraid of giving ideas. So you should create an environment where people should be encouraged to give the ideas. Also, we should ensure that wherever the brainstorming is taking place, there should not be any disturbance, so people are focused on brainstorming. Sometimes people might deviate from the topics. There is a tendency that some important issue crops up during the discussion. So at that time, you can always create a parking lot saying that, well, this idea or this issue is very, very important, and we can park it to be discussed after a while once we complete the brainstorming on this particular topic. We should encourage people to fantasize freely. We should not put brakes on our thoughts. So you can give some out-of-the-box ideas, you can give some wild ideas, and if people are giving you wild ideas, they should be encouraged. If you give a specific duration of brainstorming, we should try to complete the brainstorming within the time duration, and defer evaluation. Now, this is one of the rules which is often violated. People start discussing the ideas. Someone gives an idea and someone else says, well, it will not work in an organization. Or some other person gives an idea and someone else comments that, wow, it's a great idea. So don't evaluate. Reserve your comments for evaluation at a later stage. When you are generating the idea, when you are generating the root causes, they are not to be evaluated. You cannot say that it is a good idea or this is a very good root cause which you have thought of. No evaluation, just write down whatever is being suggested. Generate quantity, do not worry about the quality at the initial stages. So you have to generate lots of root causes, lots of solutions, more the better. A pearl diver, he dives into the sea to find the pearls. If he just collects 10 oysters, the probability of getting the pearl is very low. But if he collects thousands of oysters, the probability of getting the pearl is very high. So similarly, if you want to collect great ideas, some of the out-of-the-box ideas, some creative ideas, then definitely you should create more and more ideas.
So try to create as many ideas as possible. That's what. Okay. So yeah, related to the certificate, we'll give you a link and at the end of the session, and you can download your certificates. Yeah. So you can download the certificates. That's just to answer some of your questions.
Ideas. So how do
you can also do an FMEA, failure modes and effects analysis. So FMEA link also I'll send you by email, or I can put here. Failure modes and effects analysis is about imagining how you will fail, how you will fail in implementing your idea. So you're protecting against any failure. So your idea should be successful. So there are different tools here. I'm doing an FMEA for an American multinational company. We solved a big problem just by doing an FMEA in there. So we have got ideas. You now implement the ideas, and I'm not going to describe those ideas as of now here, but they have implemented those ideas, and once they've implemented the ideas, they have now reduced the cycle time. So let me show you how they reduce the cycle. And this is the graph every CEO would like to have. So this was before. and this was after. Yeah. So if I try to plot before and after together, so it is telling me that the control limits, see, control limits have changed. That means this is statistically significant improvement. This is a statistically significant improvement because control limits have changed. So we are not worried about this variation. Otherwise, people are worrying like, oh, I'm happy that we do just, oh, this recruitment took 45 days, we are happy. Oh, this recruitment took 60 days, we are unhappy about it. This is not going to lead to anywhere. This common cause variation you should not focus on. You should focus on the long-term improvements. This is before, this is after. This is the way of looking at any process. And now, once it is improved, I would like to hold the gains. I would like to sustain the gains. I would like to keep my process within these new control limits. So for that, I need to take some actions. So what are the actions? So these are coming under control phases. Train the people in new method, train the people in new process, train the people in the new templates. And then once it is done, so now we are able to reduce the recruitment time average and also saved $760,000 per annum. So that's the best part about the Lean Six Sigma. It gives you money. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. First of all, let me ask you, how many of you are interested? Can we take a poll, please? Okay, I'll just launch it. If we can just answer this question. Thank you for registration. Some people have already registered, so thanks, and I'll see you in the training. I'm waiting for you to join. Yes. Thank you, Tom. Thanks, Tom, for registering. Thank you, Vijay. Vijay has also registered. Thanks a lot. And I see Rovina. Rovina has also, very good. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So good to see. See, if you register today and tomorrow, you must have got a lot of good discounts, which of course is available today and tomorrow. So those who want, the first 15 registrations, usually we give heavy discounts. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I think I see Adil has also registered. Thanks for that. And yeah, so I see lots of registration. I can't name everyone. Thanks a lot for that. Okay, so thanks for participating. So we'll be in touch. I will be in touch with you very soon. And if those who have shown interest, my team will be in touch with you. Okay, let us play some game. The inputs to a process are called. The inputs to a process are called what? The X's, the Y's, out of scope, or cage hardener. Right answer will give you $10,000. Wrong answer will not give you anything. Okay. The inputs to a process are called what? Yes. Andy, fastest fingers first. You have given the right answer first. Okay. $10,000. This is a virtual game, virtual money. Okay. Okay. Good. Yes. Output of a process. Thank you, Ryan. You also answered correctly, but Andy was the first to answer. So that's why I'll take the name of the person who's answering it first time. Then the output of a process is what the customer sees, out of scope, the big X, not measurable. So Ryan, yes, you have answered it correctly this time. Daniel has also answered, but Ryan answered it correctly. Mahmoud Hamid also answered. Ali also answered. Yes. So Rituja as well. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. Not now, be careful, not a deliverable of analyze phase, which is not in analyze phase, which is not coming under analyze phase. So see, analyze is about root cause analysis. So which is not, it is asking which is not in analyze phase. So Telfer Felix has answered correctly. It is C. C means solutions, right? Shah Rukh Khan, Venkatesh, Asim, Rituja, correctly. So yes, Shah Rukh Khan is also Shah Rukh Khan, Asim. Yes. Yes, you're right. You've done a great performance, by the way. So if you would like to become the one of the most valuable person in the company by applying process improvement statistical tools and techniques, and if you would like to become a green belt or a black belt or a master black belt, then join my session, and I'll show you now the roadmap and how do you implement Lean and Six Sigma in the organization. So for that, and by the way, Lean and Six Sigma will help you to reduce the cost, improve the quality, become a problem solver, consult you. You can consult your own organization and you can start on your own as well. Okay, so these were the things. And now I'll just move on and I'll tell you about some of the ways to implement. See, how to implement Lean and Six Sigma. So first you choose the projects, different departments. You choose business A, business B, or departments, verticals. And then after choosing the project, you create an infrastructure, steering committee, the senior management committee who will be monitoring the Lean and Six Sigma implementation, champions and HOD or the sponsors. You train them first, and then black belts and green belts would be trained. So first HODs are trained in the basics, like yellow belt, whatever we did today. Or it can be half a day to 1 day program for them, which we call it champions training. So I did this for, let's say, I'll take examples of various organizations. So I did it for Swiss organization in Switzerland. I convinced them using a simple problem solving game. I told them to solve a problem. They couldn't solve it, but when they learned and applied DMAC, they were able to solve that particular problem and generate excellent solutions. So that was something they were able to do. They got convinced, and then they nominated their employees as the green belt. Now, employees are nominated. Now, I'll keep changing the names of same thing. We have done it in many companies. So, different phases. I'll take examples of different organizations. So now the senior management has nominated the green belts, and now
your team name 1, 2, 3. Anti-Muda. And your slogan 1, 2, 3. Green air go. Okay. And your song 1, 2, 3. Here it goes.
Yeah. All of us want to last one, you guys.
Yeah.
Champions, we are a team.
Wow.
now
And your team name 1, 2, 3. Your slogan 1, 2, 3.
So now they have, they are starting the training. Once they start the training, they complete the training, they do the projects. And once they complete the projects, then they present the projects to the sponsors and the senior management. So here,
Well, we have Alex with us, and he has done excellent Lean and Six Sigma projects in National Healthcare Service and in hospitals. So, Alex, would you like to tell us something about it?
Hello.
so NHS, National Healthcare Services UK in healthcare, it is the Ministry of Health in a way for UK.
I'm Alex Wells, Head of Service Improvements at the Royal Liverpool University Hospital. I've been really fortunate to present today on how us as a trust are using Lean and Six Sigma principles to deliver better care for our patients. I've presented today on a lot of the work that we've done around how we've improved patient outcomes, reducing mortality, improving length of stay, and also talked about how we can actually realise some financial benefits from that. Over the past 2 years, we've been really fortunate that we've done some good work, and it's actually delivered us £2 million worth of quality efficiencies through delivering better patient care.
Or some of the organizations have implemented in through 2 to 3 years, 5 years per time, 10 years also. Let us have a look at this one video. I'll just show you before I complete the roadmap part. So you do the projects not only in 1 year but multiple years, and it transforms the whole organization the way it did it for Naker.
My name is Mohammed Al-Bayati. I'm the CEO of Naql. Through Anexas, Mr. Amitabh has taught me and more than 1,000 employees of Naql, Six Sigma and Lean processes. This affected our bottom lines by millions of riyals, and it is having a big impact in changing our company from a local company to a regional or multinational company. Thanks to Anexas and Mr. Amitabh. Thank you very much.
So it transforms the organization. Okay. So yeah, that's like there's some other part. If I was telling you, like let me talk about a little bit of lean also. So lean is about identifying the waste. So typically you have intelligence, waste of intelligence, waiting time, inventory, motion, transportation, overproduction, overprocessing, and these hidden waste is present everywhere in the organization. And for this Chinese hospital, we did a process mapping, and lots of, not only Chinese hospital, in fact, we have done this for many hospitals. Just to give an example, typical blood test process, you'll find that a lot of processes are non-value added activity, like walking to the OPD, registering in OPD, which the customer is not willing to pay for. The main value-added activities are only the drawing the blood and blood test processing. So when you are doing non-value-added and value-added activities, the analysis, you have to think from the value from customer's perspective. The customer should feel value. So customer is not interested in walking, registering, waiting. So they are from customer's perspective, these are non-value-added activities. So try to identify them, reduce them as much as possible. A typical hospital has 80% of the nurse calls housekeeping in nature, like my bed cover is dirty, my pillow is not okay, pillow cover is not okay. No, if the nurse starts attending all these calls, they will forget to give you the medicine. So this is waste of intelligence of nurse. This is also a waste. Another, many case studies we have, like in one of the hospitals, we doubled the cardiology lab capacity from 8 to 16. We reduced the diagnosis to exam time from 2,000 minutes to 64 minutes. Reduced the signatures or steps from 18 to 12, reducing the cycle times. So many cases we have done. They have been published in journals and newspapers, also magazines also. Idea is to create value and reduce the waste as much as possible. So unnecessary motion, unnecessary waiting, transportation errors, production unnecessary is all waste. A person who is underutilized or not utilized is a waste. But equipment which is not utilized is a waste. Cost of 5-minute MD walk costs company or organization or a hospital. Walk to elevator 1 minute, elevator wait 3 minutes, elevator travel 1 minute, and walk to lab or pharmacy 1 minute. Nurse cost per hour is $50. So you can see that cost of one trip is around $5 US, or cost of 5 trips per day per nurse is $25. So cost of elevator wait per day per nurse is $12 and multiplied by 200 nurses, multiplied by 365 days runs into millions of dollars. So simple waiting, simple traveling and going like elevate through the elevator, it costs so much money to any company. Lab and pharmacy on second floor and radiation equipment on ground floor has got a lot of issues in walking waste. So bring them together on the same floor. Similarly, waiting time and due to any interruption is a waste. There is a mistake proofing concept called pokayoke. Mistake proofing is also known as pokayoke in Japanese. Like in rice cooker, you will never burn the rice because rice will automatically switch off once the rice has reached a certain temperature. So automatically, switching off is known as pokayoke, mistake proofing. So similarly, a lot of pokayoke you can apply to hospitals, to equipments, manufacturing equipments, so that they cannot be operated beyond the unsafe limits. These are all examples of pokayoke, and abnormal range values cannot be entered even if you want to enter. Pokayoke description is given here. Naveen has put a link there. You can watch them. Oxygen and nitrogen cannot be connected to each other because the connections are different. This is again another pokayoke. Okay, mistake proofing, also known as fool proofing. Even a foolish person cannot commit mistake. So other examples: fixed number of packages during surgery, complete catheter kits for insertion, prepacked medication cart with correct dosage. These are all examples. Okay. So please join us. I'm just inviting you to join in our training program. A lot of hospitals, a lot of organizations, multinationals have given us credentials, and you'll be learning from the best of the best. We have a partnership with all the clients and all the people, all our participants. You have fun. You'll definitely have fun, and lots of credentials like this.
Session with the team.
We headed straight here to Formula Rock.
Improve our processes.
So I reached out to our operations team and we headed straight here to Formula Rossa, one of the signature rides here at Ferrari World at Abu Dhabi, and we decided to work on how we could increase the reliability of the time it takes to update our queue time boards, because as you know, every minute that guest waits in a queue line is super important.
We had the brainstorming session with the team and we went through a few topics and then we chose the most appropriate one for the course. The chosen topic was reduce facilities management service request closeout time.
So I was eager to use statistics and data analytics to solve a business challenge. One of the challenges we had is the erosion of the retail per capita spend in Ferrari World Abu Dhabi, and that was my topic.
Well, actually, being an HR professional, recruitment lead time has been always a problem across the board. So taking that subject in specific will help me improve onto the recruitment cycle.
So what we had worked on was redesigning the product launch process, which we've now implemented.
We had a discussion within our team, and the most critical area that we faced was our closing process. So we decided among ourselves that this is the one that we should go for.
Yeah, the course that we did was a week-long online facilitated course. It was fantastic. It showed us the whole methodology behind Lean Six Sigma, and it also provided a various amount of tools that we could be able to use to improve all of the existing processes that we have here in the park.
Well, it was 1 week training. It was very interesting and always energetic in terms of interaction in the class. Every single day has been different and the knowledge sharing has been remarkable.
This gave us a broader perspective to understand the issues, and it gave us opportunity to do some brainstorming, and we were able to come up with better solutions from a wholesome perspective.
It was a very stimulating experience where we met every day with the colleagues, all very engaged, eager to learn, and keen on and willing to actually pause, step back from their day-to-day work to get some new perspectives. So it was really a refreshing exercise.
when an issue comes to us, we try to think about it from a Lean Six Sigma perspective. We try to define the issue. We make a project charter about it. We try to analyze it. So it has changed the perspective of how we look at issues.
Statistics allowed me to understand the root cause of the problem and come up with the very targeted improvement initiatives that we aim at implementing within the year. So every dirham per cap increase would represent 1 million revenue uplifts in a standard year. So the impact can be significant.
Well, this program is in benefit not just for me as a recruiter, but it helps the whole organization in terms of how we can identify issues, how we can look into problems.
So what's really exciting is that since we completed the course and we implemented all of the changes that we worked through, we have 100% seen a decrease in the time that it takes to upload the QTime boards, which is really cool. And one other really exciting thing is that one of the recommendations that the team and I put forward through in our project, for the project I should say, is that has now been funded through the business. So you'll have to watch this space for more. I can't tell you just yet.
I would say satisfaction, quality and experience, and I say that because my project was focused on how we can improve the product launch. So we wanted to get customers satisfied and improve the customer experience, and we wanted to improve the quality of the products that we were issuing to guests and the overall process that we had within the business to launch new products.
I would say that it has definitely brought consistency to the team, awesome efficiency for sure. And the only other word I can kind of think of is it's brought alignment, not only alignment within the department, but with all of our rides here, also alignment within the business and even with our competitors. So it's a win-win.
I think the biggest personal improvement is giving a framework for doing process improvements. I've always worked in customer experience, and so we're always looking for new ways to how we can improve the customer experience, but the training is now given a framework and a methodology to make sure that we can be consistent and using the best practices to do it.
I'd say that while agreeing
we have got like, many credentials, and with that, I would like to invite you once again. Sorry, that's the old one. So we have also Power BI. You can just, you can join once you do a green belt, black belt. There's combo offers available. You can even, join those courses. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, with Twitter and LinkedIn page to learn more tools of Lean and Six Sigma and PMP. And see you soon. Thanks a lot for joining, and thanks to those people who have already registered. The 11 people have registered till now, and we would like to have. So we have got 4 batches. So we have got still some vacancy. Feel free to join, and great.